Welcome to the DJ Insider Podcast, sponsored by Amplified Events.
It's the only podcast where we break down insider information from our weddings, experiences, and advice from over 15 years in the wedding industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Mike Kane, owner of Amplified Events.
And I'm Chris Zart, general manager of Amplified Events.
Let's get into it. All right, we're back. This week, we have two very special guests. We have Carli and Trish from Sandy Pines in DeMont. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, Sandy Pines, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about kind of your facility, services you offer, things like that.
Yeah, well, Sandy Pines originated as a golf course. Then since then, they've built on restaurant, pavilion, which is our wedding venue, bridal house, and cottages. So, it's growing every year. So we take care of the weddings and the cottages. I myself am the wedding coordinator, and Tricia is our director.
So the bridal house, is that, as a DJ, I go there to grab the bride and groom before something.
Yeah.
What can you do there? What kind of can you use the space for?
So our bridal house is essentially, it's a kitchen, a salon for bridesmaids and brides. Any hair and makeup artists come in and pamper the bride there. We have a groom suite, which is upstairs, more so just a lounge area, and a party room, which is basically just a huge empty room. We use it, it's multifaceted. We use it for like table displays, corporate events, things like that.
And it's like a pretty, I was there, you had us come out for the bridal show. You have like mirrors, and it's like a professional setup.
Yeah.
If you want to get ready with your bridal party, like it's a pretty good spot to.
Yeah, there are 8 makeup stations
Oh my goodness.
and then 4 salon stations with salon chairs. So the bride is one place the entire day. All her people come to her.
I love
So
that. And you're about 100 feet from ceremony, reception.
Yes.
It's
You're
very
right there,
close.
yeah.
Yes.
But it's got like a comfort kind of a house, kind of a feel.
Yeah, I tell all of our brides, like, I don't want them to feel babysat when they're in there. I'm there if they need anything, but I want them to make themselves at home so they don't feel like they're somewhere. They feel like they're at home.
Yeah. And so some of the services you got, of course, you do weddings, you do events, but what goes into that? There's a lot of things. Some venues, it's like you rent, there's a space and do what you want. You guys do a little bit more than that, as I understand.
Absolutely.
What are some of the things you guys do at Sandy Pines for?
Yeah, we are all-inclusive. You come in at 8 a.m. and we take care of your day for you. Decorations, linens, breakfast, lunch, dinner, catering, anything you name it, we do it.
Full service. And then the day of, you're making sure the trains run on time.
Yes.
Things are happening, food's getting out, people are getting lined up. It's kind of a full service type of thing. It's not like a rent a room. It's like you're having your wedding here. We're going to help you.
Day of. Yep.
Yeah.
And we also keep track of, has the florist been here yet? Has the cake come yet? Does anything need to be refrigerated? If there are things that need to be refrigerated and not come out until after dinner, we take care of that. They don't have to have any people to do anything. They literally just need to show up.
So it's kind of like you're running the behind the scenes, anything venue related to help make sure that the couple has an amazing day and they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You take care of all of that so that the couple and everyone can enjoy it. And it's like, oh, here's food, here's dessert, we're going to be announcing this, that kind of thing, keeping the day on track.
We're in constant contact, as you know, with the DJs, also to plan. I feel the DJ either makes or breaks your whole day.
Yeah.
So to make sure everything is running smooth, we're in constant contact with all of the important people, the photographer, the DJ, the bride, so she's not having to do all that.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts to a wedding day. And we talk a lot on the podcast that, like, I'm DJ, so of course I favor DJing because that's about, you're going to be making the memories. We're helping to make the party happen.
Absolutely.
And in their floral decor, they're helping to make it beautiful. Photo, video, they're helping to capture those memories going forward. And venues are helping to make the whole thing run on time. And, you understand your space better than anybody. This is going to work. This isn't, and you're with the brides from day one till the last time. To start to finish, and then they rely heavily on your recommendation, on your referral for, these are the people that we like to work with that we think will do a good job for you. And so, we've been fortunate enough to have a good relationship with you, and we'd love to keep that going forward. But it's been phenomenal to kind of work with you guys and your team over there. How did you guys kind of get started in the events industry and weddings and that kind of thing?
Well, I actually have a degree in event management.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I went to school for marketing, so I have a dual degree. My freshman year of college, I was the maid of honor in my sister's wedding. And so just in like helping her and things like that, I was like, this is kind of fun. And my college advisor was like, well, you can get a dual degree in marketing and event management, and it's not going to add any time. Like I graduated in 3 years. It wasn't going to change anything. Why wouldn't I get 2 degrees for the price of one? So I just added it on. And after working a 9 to 5 in marketing, I was like, I need something a little more people oriented. Not sitting in a desk 9 to 5, but
crunching
rather
numbers and
something that breaks up the day a little bit. And this definitely does that. So
I always say it's never boring.
it's never boring.
It's never boring.
Never.
There's never a dull moment.
Trish, how did you get into this?
I did not go to school for this. Dental is my background.
Oh, okay.
So I was friends with the coordinator that was the head coordinator that used to be here, and they had somebody else quit in the middle of wedding season, which left just her and Carli. And I was like, well, I'm not doing anything right now. I can certainly jump in and help until you find somebody. And that was it. I was hooked.
Speaking of hooked, what are the things that you both love about doing this work?
Oh, I think everything. I mean, everyone always asks, like, you deal with so many bridezillas, and that is not the case at all. I feel like that is a stereotype for our jobs because brides are honestly the best people.
Our brides are.
Yeah.
Our brides.
I love them all, and like you get to be with them on their very best day. Like no one is crabby ever, and that's great. I'll take that any day.
Do you anything, Trish, that you love about doing this kind of work?
I love everything about it. It's not even like a job during the weddings. It's not just to, I don't know if it's the mom in me, but I just love to make sure everything is perfect for them. And it's usually what is a catastrophe to them if something isn't going right. It's an easy fix for us because we're not emotionally involved in it. So we can think and get it solved quickly.
We're used to it. We're used to that kind of stress, and this is going to be okay.
Problem solving.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're guiding the ship. The people are, there's a bad storm. It's good. We're going to drown. No, not going to drown. It's going to be fine.
I think one of my favorite things is when a bride specifically wants something, and we're like, no, don't do it. And they insist on doing it. And then when it turns, we're like, oh my gosh, that's fabulous.
Yeah. So glad they didn't listen to me.
That's always a risk. There's like kind of a risk reward there.
It is.
I've gotten myself into trouble where I'm like, oh yeah, we can definitely do that. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's just not real. Sometimes what they're asking is just not me. Or it's just not something I'm well practiced at, or something I really shouldn't be doing. They should hire someone else for that. But sometimes, if we just did a company party, and we don't usually do karaoke, but they asked us to, and I was like, I think we could do that. They wanted to do like karaoke with like Christmas carols.
Aww.
And it was so fun, and ended up great, and it was a really good time. And I was like, oh, we should probably do this from now on.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as we thought, so.
Karaoke was the one DJ requirement for my wedding. It's like, I need karaoke. But like, don't give other people the microphone, just me.
There it is.
Just me.
So I usually don't recommend it at weddings, only because it becomes about that.
It does.
It does. There's not going to be dancing. There's going to be performing now.
Performance.
Which, if you want that, it was great.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. What are some of the challenges? What are some of the things that are hard in this line of work?
Weather.
Weather, being
us.
an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
We had 3 rain days last year where we had to move the ceremony, but
That's really not too bad.
it's not bad considering we did 50. It's still beautiful even when we do move it. You just get a little wet.
Yeah.
It's just going to be what it is.
Do you have a policy for that? Like, it's just we're going to go till this, and then we're just cutting it.
I like to always leave it up to the bride. Like we've had
Till the last minute.
the last second. We've had times where we were communicating and I said, okay, bride says outside. just kidding. She wants it inside. Just kidding. Now she wants it outside. And Trish just keeps moving the guests. Like,
We move the guests, and our girls are ready with towels if we need to dry the chairs super quick.
Yeah. I've seen a few times your team's out there like, chairs, drying it off for the guests. Sit, and okay, let's do it, you
now
know.
let's go before it starts raining again.
And then they get done, and then they come right back in, and then everything's fine. It's perfect.
My favorite, and I tell as many brides as I can, my favorite rain story was a bride who, she didn't care. She was getting married out in the garden, under the trellis with all the vines. She didn't care if it was raining. So all the guests and everybody, the wedding party stayed in the pavilion. They went out and they had clear umbrellas. The pictures were amazing. Amazing. Because the raindrops it wasn't pouring, but they were big raindrops. So you could see them in the photos. It was fabulous. And she was happy. And that's all that matters.
I love that. They say it's good luck.
They do say it's good luck
on your wedding day, and I love that. That's such a good story because it really demonstrates. Like, I always tell couples on the podcast, like, have a few things that are like your priorities. These are non-negotiable. These are important to us. We want this, and then the rest, it will work itself out. You know, hire good vendors, trust them. But you know, some people, they want everything. I'm like, you're going to be unhappy because there's going to be a lot of things that are just. They can't make the weather cooperate at your, you know, if it's cold, it's cold. If it's hot, it's hot. We can do little things with that, fans and heaters, but we can't make it hotter or colder outside.
And we do tell them, if rain is going to absolutely ruin your day, do not book here.
Yes.
Do not book
You
here.
should know that this could affect, and it does, and we always do our best with that, but don't, but that's the perfect bride to be there because it's like, I don't care. I'm getting married.
She didn't care.
Yes.
This is where I want to get married and this is how I want to get married and I'm doing it.
That's just the best attitude to have too.
Yes.
You build the emotional connection with the beauty of Sandy Pines that she was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's the great. And I want guests to do that too. Just be all in. Just be a good guest. Just really enjoy and, you know, celebrate the day. It's about the couple. It's about this memory that you're celebrating. Be all in and just whatever's going to happen is going to happen and enjoy yourself. Speaking of whatever happens, you guys have any like crazy or wild stories or memories that you care to share? Leave names out of it.
How long
you know?
do we have?
Right? Yeah.
Well, I was just telling her too. I mean, this is just one of them, and I don't even know, maybe you were the DJ.
Yeah, right.
That we got the bride down the aisle. She was walking down the aisle. You turn around and this woman was having a heart attack in the pavilion yet.
I was there for this one.
Were you?
Yeah,
I thought
right
you were.
before the ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, staff and a few guests sprung into action doing CPR. They were doing CPR the entire ceremony. And then right as the ceremony was ending, she was carried out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
I actually heard from one of the firemen that came to the call that she wrote him a thank you card and she wanted to come back and thank everybody who saved her life. I'm like, man, that's intense.
Yeah.
The bride never knew. She's just ceremony.
It was such a wild thing because it
was.
was literally right as the bride was walking down the aisle. So all the guests were seated and it was in the back pavilion area and she kind of arrived late and I think she had a stroke or fainted.
Yeah.
It was something pretty serious.
Yeah.
But your guys' staff was amazing, super professional, just sprang into action. But we just wanted the ceremony to keep going. We didn't want to ruin the day or the moment, but we wanted to see that she was cared for. And I remember your staff made like a wall to kind of block so people couldn't see, so that woman could have her dignity or privacy and people could help her. And then the bride could still have her day, you know. Because she was literally walking down the aisle. We would have had to stop, cut the ceremony, stop, you know. And it wasn't needed. I don't think it was the thing where it was, the EMS was there very quickly. They were working on her and they got her to the hospital. And we heard later that she was fine, you know.
Yeah, we boxed up a meal for someone to take to her husband and everything was great after that.
It was like, only I think the back row were kind of like, is something going on? They didn't, but nobody really knew. And the show went on, and it was just such a wild thing that occurred.
Yeah.
I was grateful that it all worked out for. That is pretty wild.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
I literally think about that one all the time. Another time, it was probably my second week working at Sandy Pines. We lost power.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't just like a flicker. There was an accident. It wasn't even storming. There was an accident. And we lost power for a solid 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
And our kitchen crew jumped in. We have the grills. So they were cooking like, I want to say it was like fried perch he was making on the grill. We served salads. We got dinner out. The only thing was the DJ. And then knock on wood, I booked that DJ for my own wedding. I don't know why, what I was thinking, but it was Joe. And it was a solid 2 hours, but everyone just waited it out. And he was like, I'm going to go get, we called everyone on the course to see if they had generators or anything he could plug into. And by the time we located one, it came back on and it was still a great party.
I wish you would have called me. I have a few. So just because it's happened. I've had
We
power,
will now.
Now I know.
Happens again.
I have 3. Plus, I have a few battery-powered speakers. They just turn,
Yeah.
I always have that with
perfect.
me, too. So it's just like, we'll just
Perfect.
flip over, do music from that. It'll be a little quieter, but we'll have music,
But
speeches.
it's still music, yeah.
So, but yeah, power outages are crazy. But again, you can't
I
plan
can't
for that.
control that, yeah.
Yeah. We just do our best. And
As
the
much
show
as we
must-
wish we could.
Yeah. Best laid plans, things happen.
Yep.
It's just, those are 2 crazy stories. What about things that are like, you just love, that just touched your heart, that were really sweet? Any memories?
During the wedding?
Or just as
after?
part of the process, whatever. Yeah.
We have, there's probably more, but I know of one specific bride who got married there, came back. Oh, it was with Rudy, the cat, the orange cat that is always at the,
Kind of hanging around.
yeah, they sent us pictures. So when they came and looked at the venue, the cat was up hanging. It's a cat that lived at somebody's house,
In
but
the
always hung
neighborhood.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
always hung out up there. He was in there. He was there when they were looking at the venue. So when they were taking pictures, he was in it.
Oh,
Then he showed up on their wedding day and they had pictures with him. Then they came a year later for their anniversary and stayed the night in the cottages for their anniversary. And they had him in their room.
oh, you like showed up to say
Yeah,
hi.
they took
My
pictures of
friends.
him laying in bed with,
Aw.
they sent us the pictures and wrote the sweetest thing. I was like, so yeah, I love when we get to keep in touch with brides when they have babies and we know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, feeling like you're a part of the family,
Yeah.
part of something,
You really do.
like a legacy, of things that are going on. That's such cool. I love seeing like couples that like from past weddings, at weddings. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
And
always
then
a lot of
there's
fun.
a lot of pressure to remember their name, and I'm better with faces. Like, ugh.
So I always try to remember their song. What was their
Yeah.
first dance
Oh, there you
song?
go.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
even
yeah.
another level because sometimes I'll play it and they'll look. I'm like, yeah,
Gotcha.
gotcha.
That was it. I love a last song moment, whether it's a slow song or big group of bridal party huddled in a circle. There's always 2 things that come to mind in that moment. One is I'm going to be here all night because I still have so much to do. But also I don't even care because this is the moment that these people are going to remember. They're going to like live in this last song moment
Yeah.
for the next week.
Yeah, those moments become memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah. And it's dark, it's lit, like beautifully. It's my favorite.
Just the magic.
Yeah.
It's just happening.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you have a favorite moment of the day or of the process of planning?
Dinner time. I like eating.
I love when I get to. I love when I get to open up the dance floor.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
when
Yeah.
when ceremony is done and everything sounded great. No
Yeah.
dropouts.
I love when, like, just when our part is done, when we're clearing tables, just being able to watch everybody out on the dance floor just relax and enjoy. And that, especially the ones that are so stressed during,
Yeah.
worrying if is everything going to be perfect, is everything, and then everything is just beautiful and they're enjoying themselves. That's what plus I like dancing while
Yeah.
I'm cleaning.
They can finally take a breath. And they,
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy. Let's have
Yes.
fun. The party's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the important stuff is done. All the photos
done.
are taken.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. What is one of the most stressful parts that you're so glad when it's done?
Dinner serve.
Yeah. Yeah. Food's out. Same with us. When
Yeah.
speeches are done, intro speeches and ceremony. Those are the most stressful part as a DJ. Saying everyone's names correctly, got the order correctly, the
Yeah.
right songs. So many details, right?
Getting the food out in a timely manner where everybody is served a hot meal and everything is right. Everything's correct.
I would say rehearsal dinners. I could do ceremonies all day long, but the rehearsal dinner where everyone's still learning what they're supposed to be doing, that's so stressful. I just want to hit them and say, have you never been in a wedding? Listen. But
there's something
very
about
essential.
that. Yeah, where it's like people, it's a wedding, so like the rule of law no longer applies. You know, they act like it's Mardi Gras. Like, I'm not going to pay attention.
Yep.
I'm not going to be where I'm supposed to be. Especially bridal party members. It's usually, you have to kind of corral them.
And I don't like
The guys.
Yeah, especially, they're off.
I
Where are
don't
they
have
at?
my
They're off
teacher
drinking
voice.
or
Yeah,
smoking
they're-
something, you know.
they're at the bar.
Yeah.
No, and I don't have my teacher voice or like my mom voice. So it's just me trying to get 20 guys to listen. But then once that's done, I can do the ceremony easy.
What about couples who are looking to book a wedding venue? Do you have advice for them? Things they should, like green flags, things they should look for, or things they should avoid, things they should stay away from, like red flags?
Red flags for me personally would be, oh yeah, we don't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. No, we don't do that. I mean, not even listening. We've been in situations where somebody has asked something way out of the ordinary and we're like, I don't know, let's try it.
We'll try it. Yeah.
We've never had a flame juggler here, but
I'm in.
I mean, all we can do is try it. Of course, before the wedding, but just how things are set up, how things flow. If it's not out of our normal, if it's something that's important to the bride, why not try it?
yeah, listen to what they want.
Yeah, let's try it, and then we'll make a decision from there. Okay, did we all like how it went? And
Could we do it again?
Yeah.
So a big red flag for you guys would be if a venue or coordinator is not listening and it's just like shutting it down right away. Nope, don't do that. That may not be a good fit for you as a couple.
Yeah.
That venue.
and I would make a list of things that are deal breakers, like rain.
Yeah.
If rain's a deal breaker, don't even waste your time coming.
Don't look at outdoor venues.
Yeah. Don't. I mean, even though we are covered and we have sides that drop, if you want pictures outside, we had a bride take pictures in the rain and she was soaking wet, but she loved it.
Yeah.
So we are getting, for anybody who's been to our venue, we do have ceiling fans, but they don't move much air. We are getting the large fans that go down the middle.
Oh.
So we're gonna be able to cool it off.
Fantastic. Like
so
those like
much
tornado,
better.
the big ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
And we're getting ceiling mounted heaters like in the hockey rinks.
Oh, perfect.
So for the spring and the fall, when we drop the sides at night when it gets cold, they're going to generate the heat.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say I know a few vendors who always text me and say, "Turn on the air conditioning." What if I could?
Can you do anything about the air in here?
Yeah, and one of the fans will be right over the dance floor.
Oh, fantastic.
So it'll be,
Oh, great. Yeah, I always have like a little battery powered fan. It's one of the best things my wife ever got me is this little, and I just always have it. And I always bring it when I'm lining up the couple and cooling them off. And it's one of those little weird things that I have in my toolkit that always helps.
It is helpful. I am not an outdoor person, but somehow I landed at an outdoor venue and I love it.
It's nothing like it. The sunshine, being out, moving around. It's just,
It's gorgeous.
It's
and the
gorgeous.
landscape in there is incredible.
There's not a bad place to take a picture.
It's so beautiful. Everything is so picturesque, and you're like in a magic garden forest,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, and as a DJ, the load in is so easy. It's right there.
Right there.
Oh, it's perfect. It's really idyllic. We have a kind of an ongoing theme that comes up on the podcast. We call it, "It's not going to go the way you think." You know, sometimes couples or people have it in their head, "I'm going to do this thing." And I'm like, well, as a vendor, and I see this all the time. I've seen that thing hundreds of times. I know you're going for this, but it's going to go a different way. Do you have anything like that you guys see from time to time that you wish you could tell? It's not going to, we're going to try for it, but here's what's probably going to happen, or here's what happens a lot.
Here's what it's gonna look like.
The first one that always comes to mind with us that we talk about a lot are sparkler send-offs.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Especially when they do it at 9 o'clock when the photographer leaves, not at the end of the night. They do it just, I was like, people are going to leave right after that. We're going to have trouble to get a dance floor back, that type of thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have our fire pit and I love a s'mores bar.
Yes.
But if you're looking for this cute like clean s'mores bar, it's not gonna go that way. You're gonna be a sticky mess. If you have kids, they're gonna be playing in the fire.
If you've been camping before, you know.
It's not gonna be picturesque bride making a s'more.
Pinterest,
Yeah. It's not it.
Yeah, there's the they call it the Instagram versus reality or whatever, the Pinterest.
It's a great snack and it's fun.
Cool, cute, very cute idea.
Yeah.
And it looks great for a quick, B-roll shot, photo.
beforehand.
Oh,
but as soon as those chocolate wrappers are open
Yeah.
and marshmallows are everywhere.
And I would say
done.
too, party favors. People who spend so much time and so much money on making and ordering and having all of these party favors, and people leave and don't touch them.
Yeah.
I have a running joke with my fiance that with all the party favors I collect at the end of a night, at our wedding, everybody is going to get like a different koozie. And it might say Jake and Taylor 2021.
Yes.
But it's free party favors.
I have 100 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. But you're right. That's such a good one. Party favors. Yeah. People do spend a lot of money and time organizing
And
it.
we try and tell them, leading up to it, don't.
It's kind of an afterthought for most guests. They leave them. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not edible,
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And they do little candies, bride and groom, their favorite little candies. That's nice.
Yeah.
Or the big one too, everybody does is a $1 lottery ticket scratch off.
oh, I made
Oh, I
$11.
haven't seen that. That's
Oh,
a good
yeah,
idea.
we had a lot of those this
a good
year.
I
idea.
made
Yes.
$11 on lottery tickets that were left.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put a penny with it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And it says like, we hope you get lucky tonight.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's clever. I love that.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's not,
And it's $1.
and it
so-
limits the cost for the couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea. See, that's the other thing, the piece of it. It's not going to go, I think, but you can make it better by doing this. Or when we've seen it
Right.
done the best way, this is what I've
Right.
seen.
Or if it's something that they're not supposed to take home, like a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
If it's not a winner, they just leave it and we can throw it away. We don't have to feel bad about throwing it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people I've seen like little toys or figurines or cars or those like key bottle openers or
Oh yeah.
just crazy, little trinkets and
Well,
things.
and you would think, who doesn't want a bottle opener? Well, there's not a lot of bottles that you have to open anymore. Most of them are twist off. So
Most
people
bars are
don't
not going to
take
let you
'em.
do that anyways. They have to legally
They'll do
open
it
it for
for
you.
you.
Yeah. So they don't even, people don't even take them.
Yeah. That's a good one. I never thought about that. That's a good. Yeah, with the sparklers, they usually do the short ones. They don't do the long. And people, they burn them. They go everywhere. They light too early.
Or one lighter for 200 people.
Yes.
Just stick
A
them all
little
in
short
there.
lighter.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Now, if you're at our venue, we do have all of our girls with lighters in different places on both sides down
So
the
you already
line.
know this
So
is
like
how to
it,
make it successful.
And we tell them, we're going to light them, and then you get the guy next to you, and we're going to keep going every other one.
And
So we
everyone
get it done
lined
quick.
up, light them, and here's the
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't light them until you're lined up and the bride's ready. Yeah.
I like when they do them in that back garden because then
Yes.
I can keep
I-
DJing
yeah.
and then I can just keep the music going.
And then they're forced to walk
right past
back
the
to
past
the
the
dance
dance
floor.
floor to leave. Yeah.
versus the parking lot. I'm already to my car. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Let's just
yeah,
go.
for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure.
Now, because you're a venue, you see all the vendors, which I'm kind of jealous. It's kind of cool. You get to see the good, the bad, the ugly of every DJ, of every florist, of every photographer. What advice do you have working with vendors coming into Sandy Pines or coming in any venue? Red flags, green flags, things you should do, things you shouldn't do as a vendor.
Listen to us because we tell you what works and what doesn't.
For new vendors, especially.
For new vendors, yeah. We have a preferred vendor list that we really, really press to use. With our preferred vendors and our venue, you are not going to have one problem.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
So listen to this is somebody else's house.
Yeah.
Remember that, treat it like that. Listen to.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we do every weekend here. So we know what works and what doesn't. And when somebody calls the police because the music's too loud, just turn it down when the police come, not run.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would absolutely just turn it down. It's so much
Just
easier to
couple notches.
Yeah.
run. Oh
That
my
was
goodness.
another memorable moment.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
gosh.
the DJ just took off running.
Okay. If they've already booked a venue, what's the best way to get the most out of that experience for a couple?
Communication.
Yeah, I feel like especially, I know other venues do this too, but especially at Sandy Pines, like take advantage of the fact that a day of coordinator comes with your package. I'm probably one of those people who's guilty of making myself too available to my brides. But just text me. I don't care. And I'll answer your questions. I want to help you.
Yeah.
So take advantage of the people that, I mean, it comes with the place, so use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, we have found people that hire day of coordinators and bring with don't really have much to do because we do everything. We do everything.
Some more often than not, they just get in the way.
Yeah, some venues that's really needed, and you're right. Other ones it's not
Right.
at all. It's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
We try and
Tell
stress
them,
that
yeah.
to them
Yeah.
ahead of time.
I like someone like that. If I'm not working with you guys, because then I can just pose my questions to that person and
Yeah.
not stress out the bride.
sure.
Or, you know,
Yeah.
and then they usually have some insider information that I'm not aware of too. I find what happens a lot as a DJ is we need to sync up the timeline. I met with the couple and they told me this is what they're doing.
Yes.
But they met with the venue and they said something a little bit different, and they met the photographer and they said something even more different, and Flora and everybody. And so I'm like, okay, what do you guys have? What do you?
Let's collab. Make the best.
We're doing intros, cake, speeches, or
Yeah.
salads, then speeches. You know,
Yeah.
there's always a little bit.
So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you go to venues where they don't communicate with you?
I mean, there's ones where it's just literally, here is our space, and you figure it out. You're running the night guy. I'm the event
wow.
coordinator. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making sure people are lined up and doing. Yeah. It's just all, or the couple has some poor cousin or maid of honor that's their job to do that. So yeah, that does happen. It happens probably more often. You guys are more rare, where you're involved in the process. It's kind of, I call it turnkey, where they book you and you guys are taking care of like helping them, with plan out their menu. You've got the food, you got the bar, you're helping them plan out the timeline of the day. You're helping them making sure the table spaces are decorated and the right linens and everything. Literally every aspect. You're like basically a wedding planning, coordinating kind of company
Yeah.
in addition to being a venue. The best venues do it this way, by the way. The best weddings have those things in line. Typically a DIY wedding, or we just rented the space, a lot goes wrong, or things are missing, or we table, chair, linen, not enough silverware. Who do we talk to? So that kind of thing. So it helps. It helps to have a team that knows where everything's at,
Yeah.
and that
For
can smooth
sure.
things over and make it happen. As a vendor, it's so much nicer to work in that environment than I'm in a tent in the middle of the woods, and I hope this generator works all night.
There's no outlets.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, that's a great question though. Yeah. It's different everywhere you go, So that's the one advantage I get to see lots of different venues, how they do it, but I only get to see me DJ. I don't get to see other DJs,
So speaking of timelines too, intros, cakes, do you have a preferred order
I honestly love it. Just get all the stuff out of the way. Because the photographer's there, everybody's there, and then let's just relax and eat. I don't like interrupting dinner, middle of dinner with a speech or a dance, or East Coast weddings, they do it like
Yes.
is a 15-minute dance set and then a course.
Yeah.
And then another 15-minute dance set and then a course. Now, there's some logic there that is fun, and that's more of a traditional style of dining experience. But I don't like that personally as DJ. I like Midwest style where it's...
And then you get to eat without having to worry about
and
when
so
you're
do all the vendors,
Yeah.
and nobody's going to miss any moments. And everybody gets to kind of relax, get off their feet at the same time.
Yeah.
Ooh, I would like to say something to potential brides.
Yes, yeah.
Or any venue. Include your vendors in your meals.
Get them a meal. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that included in our contract.
Good.
So that we can tell the venue, bill the bride, because they agreed to it. And if there's a problem, let us know,
Our advantage is that we do have a restaurant right there, and we're not. We've had to buy vendors meals before and from the restaurant, and that's totally fine. We love doing that. So
Yeah, we've never gone hungry. It's always
No,
been
we'll
fantastic.
feed if
you.
they
It's
don't
always been
feed
great.
you, we will feed you.
There's been a few, DIY or different where they forgot about us,
sure.
and I just have my assistant run and grab something, or we figure it out,
Yeah.
But it's never been an issue. It's actually one of my interview questions I have for potential. That scenario happens, and how do they handle it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we don't want them embarrassing a bride on her wedding day. by coming up, where's our food?
Oh,
Yeah.
And if they say that, I'm like, they don't have good judgment,
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to hassle a venue who's not, they're just trying to get meals out for all the guests
Right.
who pay, So it's a miscommunication error. Not,
is.
yeah.
So.
But everybody, it's a long, especially
It's a
for
long day.
photographers and videographers. You guys, it's a long day for you.
It is.
It's a
Yeah. I
long
always
day.
feel for photographers because
Yes.
they've always worked much longer than we have,
Yeah.
But we're there later than they are, but they're there longer than us for the most part. So
Well, I know that 9 p.m. to midnight and you're hungry, it's the worst.
yeah.
I'm just thinking about Taco Bell that I'm going to get on the way home.
Late night snack. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always have like protein bars and stuff. We'll make
Yeah.
it happen, kind of thing. That's a great question. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing our industry, the wedding industry right now? What are the big things that are the changes? I mean, COVID changed
TikTok.
a lot.
TikTok trends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think things are starting to settle a little bit since COVID weddings.
Yeah.
Slow down a little bit, but COVID's always going to be a thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it drastically changed things.
it did.
And then they kind of went back. It was kind of a weird
Yeah.
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. TikTok trends are not our friend.
Yeah, we see that as DJs because they get a mashup song
Yeah.
that they find and they want us to do that, or a ceremony.
Yeah.
Somebody did they're playing the piano and they're mixing up Blink-182 and Concerning Hobbits or whatever, and they want that exact.
That song.
And I was like, you got to find that person who did
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
And you have to remember it's a video, so a lot of times it's not that smooth.
Yeah, the recording is terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
And
terrible
depending on
audio
the
quality.
venue, there are certain things that
Everybody
we don't do, and why there's reasons we don't do
Yeah.
it. It's not just to say no. There's
Yes.
good reasons.
Our most requested TikTok trend right now is a champagne tower, which is a pretty
Interesting.
common wedding thing, I
Sure.
feel, but it is the mechanics of it is hard to figure out
Yes.
because you don't, especially being on concrete, that champagne is not going to clean up nice if you spill.
And we're outside.
We're outside,
Wind.
so a
Bugs.
gust of wind.
Bugs. Oh, I didn't
Bugs.
think about that.
It's sweet. They're
Yeah. Oh
my
if they don't
goodness.
get it, like the last one, the only one that we did this year, and it was a huge wall,
A huge champagne wall.
We didn't pour it until as soon as they went down the aisle, we started pouring. So when they came out,
They could grab one.
it would be, and even the people who didn't grab it right away, when I went to empty them, they were full of bugs.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's not going to go the way you think.
No.
Yes.
It looks
No, it's
awesome,
not.
but you're in an outdoor venue.
We're going
And
to try
it'll
our
get
hardest.
warm
Yes.
very quickly.
It'll
Yes.
flatten quicker, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Humidity changes everything. The
Yes.
flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, just dealing with a 3-tiered cake in 100 degrees. Like, no, thank you.
It's an ice cream cake. Yeah.
The way
Ice cream cake.
the way you didn't think it would go. We
Yeah.
had a cake that was delivered leaning,
Oh no.
and we didn't want to move it
It's too large to move.
because we were
Yeah.
afraid if it moved, and all the guests kept walking out to the ceremony space going, that's gonna fall. And I'm like, I know. We literally had 2 girls standing with gloves on right by it, just doing nothing but watching it.
Spotting.
So
And that's where a good team of vendors comes into play because we had to have our bride and groom exit the ceremony and then cut their cake.
right away.
So
Because
it
we
was
Change
yeah,
the timeline. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we can serve this, get it out of here.
Let's get this in the cooler or something. Yeah.
So yes, if you're doing an outdoor venue,
keep it 1 tier.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
well,
That's good
it was tall, but the layers had the jelly filled that were thick like this. I mean, it was thicker than the cake. So any weight on that,
Oh my
was-
goodness.
it was.
And the heat too of it all.
Yeah,
you know,
the
it's-
heat.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm
Adds
sure it was
to it.
delicious. It just
Right.
I mean, most cakes, almost all cakes, we put in the cooler,
Yeah.
and then we bring it out
10 minutes before they're going to
before
cut
they're
it.
going to cut it. But
But we didn't want to move that one.
that one, yeah, we couldn't move. There was no way.
Oh, my
it
goodness.
would not have made it back out.
That is such a
Yeah.
great story and such a great example of how something so small as the cake
don't
shows
think
up
about
leaning,
it.
that it changes the whole day.
Oh, that's all we could think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, our
Yeah.
whole lives are on that cake. The
And
whole
it could,
time, just waiting
and
for it to
luckily
go.
you did the best you can. Now we're going to do cake cutting as soon as they leave.
Yeah.
They want this moment, we have to do it now.
And that's when I really want to be like, I know the cake is leaning Aunt Karen. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me 5 times. But
You're going to tape that cord down, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have a microphone for speeches.
Right?
Yes, I will.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got it.
One of the main reasons I'm here. Yep.
The microphone, yep, got it.
You'll have music tonight, right? Yes, I
We
will.
need to get you cards. I'm a preferred vendor.
Yeah,
got
I'm
it.
a vendor.
He's got it.
I got it.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, that would be other advice to any bride. If you have an outdoor venue, I mean, I know the 3-tiered cake is pretty and it's Pinteresty and everything, but logistically,
Yeah.
you're in an outdoor venue. People are going to have to move that cake. It's
Or
not
just make sure it's just a solid cake.
a solid cake
No layers.
or one tier,
no layers.
one tier, and Costco sheet cakes.
Or we had the best one this year. We had a pizza.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh,
I think I did that
you
one.
did that
Yes.
wedding, yep.
That was a fun
The
one.
bride and groom, neither of them like cake.
Yes.
They
So
cut
they
a
had cake
pizza.
for the guests, but they cut a pizza.
pizza.
It was
With
awesome.
the most
Loved it.
Midwest touch, they needed a bowl of ranch to go with it.
That is such a yes. Gotta have it, Midwest staple.
Gotta have it.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a really good one. I think her mom his mom wanted us to do like dun, 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 for that.
Oh,
The
yes.
bride was like, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, you
Yes.
should have. That would have been.
That would have been
I would
funny.
have done that. I would have talked her into it.
And then they just took that pizza to their table and had it for dinner. They didn't even want the chicken parm or whatever. They just wanted their pizza.
So running, coordinating a venue, you see the worst, the best. You're planning your wedding now.
I am.
And is there anything that you've taken from that, like, I'm not doing this, or I'm definitely doing this? Like, what are your kind of must-haves,
Oof.
can't stands,
I got nothing.
stuff, their
I
top
am-
priorities,
Yeah, no. I think that's been my biggest struggle planning my own wedding is that I'm so in my head about needing to be original. And that's not the case at all because these people that are coming to my wedding aren't at every wedding I go to. It is original to them.
Yeah.
But it, like, booking DJs, photographers, I could have put them all in a hat and picked one and I would have been happy.
Yeah, you
From
see
the
enough.
preferred.
You
From
see
our
enough.
preferred
Yeah,
list.
you see enough people, and
Yeah.
this is gonna be good. This will be good. This will be good.
I
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Must-haves. Tricia keeps yelling at me because I buy everything off of Facebook Marketplace, even if it's nothing related to my wedding. I'm like, I think I need it for my wedding. So I have my car is full of flowers.
There is kind of that, like, I have to gather. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
And then I'll just sort through it later.
My wife was like that. We bought a lot of like little, and then we kind of figured out where to put it
Yeah.
for our
That's
centerpieces and that
kind of a plan.
Yeah.
And we have so many rentals now
Yeah.
so if
Almost too
somebody-
many options.
Yeah.
Well, and if somebody comes up, oh, I forgot this. I'm like,
I have
we
one.
got it.
Yeah.
We got it. So yeah, anything that she's going to forget,
We'll
I
have
need a
someone.
triangle archway or whatever.
I
you
got
know.
one.
that one.
Which color you want?
Yeah. I mean, it was really tough to decide between having my ceremony in the church that I grew up in my whole life that all my siblings got married at or the garden. Because the garden is so beautiful, but the church has that sentimental value.
Yeah.
It's honestly been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be to plan my own wedding as a wedding coordinator.
It's hard because you have seen it all.
It's so hard. And I am also like constantly thinking about everyone else's wedding that I'm like, oh yeah, mine's that weekend too. Like I forgot.
I'm gonna work this day and then I'm work
And then
next weekend. Yeah.
So I got to work the Thursday night before, and then Friday's my wedding. Yeah, it's been a
And I
lot.
think it's easier when you see somebody like from the outside to tell them, oh, maybe try this, or
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
or easy to answer questions than to have to come up with
Then
it.
to come up
Yeah.
with the idea.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm here. I'll tell her.
It's
what
really
to
hard to be objective about your own.
It
Yeah,
is.
you can't. It's
Yeah.
yours, and
It is.
there's a lot of like, I want this to go well, but like I've seen this go bad and I don't want to do that. And there's kind of that back
Yeah.
and forth.
And I've found that I really don't know that much about the other side of things because I mean, like I texted my DJ is Joe.
Joe, yeah.
And I was like, so can you mash these 2 songs for my dance with my dad? And he was like, I can mash like 12 songs. I'm like, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, here, I think I'm thinking of something out of the blue, and you guys are just doing it every day. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Is this a weird thing to ask? Like,
Yeah.
no, we do it all the time.
No, we do that all the time. Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing anybody's asked from you?
Oh man, it usually has to do with introductions. They want us to do a very specific, like either wrestling, and I'm doing like 20 different little paragraphs about every person.
Yes.
Oh,
Or just strange family traditions where we're introducing some weird thing that the family's going to do, or
we haven't had any of those, have we?
sometimes they'll have like mascots or performing artists show up.
The little people.
That was a fun one.
I love
That
those.
was crazy.
They kill me.
I did not know that was a puppetry thing. I thought it was actual little people
No, wait.
performing.
There's not people in there?
So it's a puppet, but there's a person in the costume. It's a costume.
Yeah. Okay.
But I believe they're typical average sized size. I don't think they're little people.
Oh.
But I don't know. But I was expecting that. I thought it was, and it was a puppetry type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had never. That's all I heard was they're going to come out. They're going to perform. I didn't know anything else than that. And then it was a 45-minute set, and they were just doing to a tape.
Yep.
So that was crazy because the crowd was not ready for it, which is one of the most valuable things. Is like if you're not. You have to kind of prep people for stuff.
Yeah.
We had one that was like that recently with comedy, where it's just the crowd wasn't expecting comedy, and so it sounds like a mean speech. It doesn't sound. It doesn't come across
Oh,
well,
yeah.
and they get real defensive of who you're making fun of, and it did not go well. It is that kind of thing
Yeah.
where you're like, you got to kind of prep people for something off the wall that they're not
Yeah.
expecting. No, a mascot comes out. Oh yeah, I love Benny the Bull. I'll dance with
Yeah.
That's great. Or I did a Disney wedding and Mickey came out. Everyone went nuts. Mickey was there.
Yeah. We had a 10-foot dancing robot.
Oh my gosh.
light
yeah,
show.
yeah.
And it danced for like literally from 10:30 to midnight. It was out there dancing on
But
stilts.
it was a
like,
person in there.
It was a
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
in that, yeah.
Like a light up kind of costume.
Yeah.
Yes. And really getting down.
and-
Adds a bunch of
Literally.
energy. Yeah.
I just thought the whole time, it was probably midsummer, and I was like, that guy is blazing hot for sure.
Yeah,
I
he
couldn't-
didn't disappoint though.
He did not disappoint. He was out there.
And it got everybody out there.
Yeah.
So
Those
It
things
was
do
cool.
kind of like, oh, this is novel in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And it's fun and I can access that and have a good time. And I want to dance and get a picture with them, that kind of thing. But yeah, sometimes you're like, oh, what is going on? Sometimes they have that with speeches too, where people they go on a tangent, they go something weird. And
Yep.
ooh.
It's not working.
I've had where the father bride wanted to do like a water balloon fight
Oh,
with
wow.
him and the groomsmen, and
Yeah.
he did every year. The couple second grade they exceeded at soccer and they got good grades in spelling, and every year of both people's lives. It was like a huge PowerPoint presentation,
wow.
which was 45
Yeah.
minutes to an hour right
I
before
will
dinner.
never forget. My dad gave a 20-minute speech at my brother's wedding about how my brother used to stick silverware into outlets. And so we were like asking him to pray before dinner at our wedding. And I was like, but just praying a minute tops. Like no speeches. He's like, I won't do it. I'm like, I don't trust you. You're going to do it.
Yeah, shorter the better, sweeter
Shorter
the
the
better.
better, for
Yeah.
sure.
Always err on the side of being short and sweet, not on funny or mean and
No.
or sometimes people will bring up embarrassing stories. That's not the place. Do that anywhere. Do it at the bachelor
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
That's the environment for that. So anything else that is you guys have seen or experienced, or advice you would have, or I wish you guys understood this about what it's like doing this
We
work.
want to stress into people's brains.
They need to be able to have fun. That's their day. It's going to be the longest, shortest day of their whole life. And in that same breath, it's only one day. It's only one day. So if something doesn't go exactly perfect, once you have kids, wedding pictures are going away. Everything's going to be kids. Everything. If you don't have kids and you have pets, everything's going to be your pets. I mean, that you have the pictures, but nothing is ever perfect. So the little stuff, don't sweat. You know, don't sweat the little stuff. It's not worth ruining your day over at all.
Yeah, we say put together your priorities, develop your team, work with them, listen to them, develop a good plan, and then the day of, just enjoy. Because it's going to go like that.
And always let us be the bad guy. If Aunt Karen needs to leave,
Yeah.
let
Even
us.
tell them in the bridal house, if you're overwhelmed and there are too many people in here, send us a text. We'll boot them out. You don't have to be the bad person.
We'll bounce them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same with me. I'm like, tell them up to me. I'll tell them I can't play that song. That's no
Right.
problem. Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
for coming on. And if couples are looking to have the experience we're talking about at Sandy Pines, what's the best way they can reach out and get a hold of you guys?
Email
Email.
Carli at Sandy Pines Pavilion.
Okay.
On our website, too. Everything's
yeah,
on our
it's all on
website.
there.
Perfect.
If you just Google Sandy Pines, you'll be able to find everything, the cottages, the pavilion, the bridal house.
You just want to come golf. Come golf.
Well, thank you so much. We so appreciate it. Please come back and see us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This has been the DJ Insider Podcast. I'm Mike,
I'm Carli.
And I'm Trish.
and we will see you at your wedding.